It's me. I'm your karma. You know, us as females, sometimes we gotta let each other know how to treat a man and how to keep a man. Get down, do it all around. Y'all better pop it till you feel it coming down. Pick it up, slowly bring it down. I guarantee it'll make you go wild. Get down, do it all around. Y'all better pop it till you. Highlight that. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your girl, I'm your Karma. Welcome to House of Karma. And I'm here with Puerto Rican Station.
We here with Carma. We made it.
Can y'all hear him?
Oh, one more right there.
There you go.
But Orlando, I'm trying to get used to these Michael Jackson headsets.
This is the Madonna and Vogue and Janet
I
Jackson
need these
time.
for the festival. Interesting. I gotta hold the mic. I could just.
Well, welcome to the show, first of all. Those of you guys who are not familiar with Candela, his visual, I'm like 100% sure you've done heard of him. I mean, there's not one Puerto Rican Day parade that you do not hear his song.
Candela. I gotta do the voice. Que bonita bandera. We here.
We
the
here.
Season is among us. We here.
That's right. You guys already know. So, can you let the viewers know what inspired you to write that song? Because that's like one of the most popular songs that there is out there right now.
Well, the question is, I didn't write it, but I remade it. So
Okay.
it was a anthem from PR, something I used to use to amp crowds up. It started with me, 1992 or 3 around there. I was yelling in a lot of festivals, and that would always pick up the people. I guess those early years were very, very Boricua-ish in New York, and it was like them days that Boricua Posse was out, the whole system of Latin House was founding,
Yes.
and I got kind of lucky because I was just doing it for fun. I was a guy who, I was more into the street life and doing other things, and I would come out to carnivals, the 156th Street Carnival that I remember in the Bronx back in the days. I used to see people like Hector Lavoe perform. I was young, not to say how old I am already, but, and then it just took me there, watching the performers, and I started with the dancing. I was always a dancer. That's really where I started. I used to go to the Palladium, the Red Zone. I like to do all the house music dance. I was into all that back in the days, and I was more than I've searched into the freestyle business, as far as a dancer for freestyle artists, and I was actually dancing for Charlie Rock. I was, like a backup dancer, like a reserve for other artists too out there, like Johnny O, the George Lamont and everybody. So I was in that era, Micmac tour. Then from there is when I got more inspired and say, I need to step out, the boundary, because I used to love the rapping thing. I was, always writing in the neighborhood, and I'm more into the hip hop side of life. And, being around, like I said, raised in Millbrook Projects, raised in, around KRS-One, watching the whole movement of, breaking, launch and the whole hip hop thing and the Zulu and this and that, so it was like, I was among that whole Bronx era, the South Bronx, where everybody was just doing something. Like my neighborhood, I had Eileen Flores living up the block. We had, the producer Nelson Cruz here. My boy, it was like so much Bronx, activity. So
Bronx pride.
And I was so into, they were so, active on, the whole music scene. So I was just into it till I got myself in my studio. Got with a little partner, started, testing waters with the Candela. Not really Candela, I was Joel at one time, FUA, which is my middle name. And I did a record in 91. It wasn't, it didn't work too much with the regular voice. Then I started experimenting, with the Candela and yelling and the reggae vibe. And they talked me into it. I really wasn't too into it. They were like, you got to change, your flow and do it. And I did it. And it was more of, like I said, a test. It was like a testing. We didn't know it was going to launch. It was like I just used a part of the plena, which is, there's more to the record. It's not the whole plena, but I was just, que bonita bandera. And they recorded it along with a lot of other little riffs, because I was doing Palo Palito. I did Candela, La Casa Se Mec, little things that they recorded. I did a whole recording session with me, and then they took pieces and put them in different records. So that's what was happening with Strictly Rhythm. They were expanding, and then my record, my voice was there, different, features, and I became a feature on the Bombero, that song, Algo Ta Quemando, Llámamelo Bombero, back in the days, and they put me on that. That went to Japan and went all over the world. That was RBM featuring Candela, and then from there, just launched to something else. But then the Bandera was something that was, so complicated to talk about the history of how it happened, but it just launched so fast, and it happened so quick for Cutting and the people. And, I wasn't really a named artist, because that would be something people have to see in my documentary. It's just, I was named as the voice to the record, but it was just so much, flim flam. When the artist starts in the beginning, you make the wrong business moves, and there's not much I could do but perform the record. So you see me out there worldwide. I mean, I always represented that because it's just been, at request. Not that I'm, you see me everywhere. People say, how you get in so much festivals? Why you're so? I mean, it's just at request. I'm also a performer. I've always been the one that I do festivals. I'm a performer, so people they want me in their shows. So I can't.
I definitely have seen you in the festivals, and I can honestly say your energy, brings a lot of people. It hypes a lot of people up. So I can definitely understand why they want you there. And I'm like I said, like you can't go. You don't hear like a Puerto Rican anthem song without hearing at least just your voice in it. So that's
why
awesome.
they leave me as the closer. They call me like I'm that guy who wants to come at the festival when things are already getting tirish.
Yeah.
Then I come in. That's why I always tell promoters, when you book me, make sure you put me at a good. Don't put me in the beginning. I mean, I'll do it. I'm there to work. I'll do what I do. But I always say keep me where after give me a medium of the show, give me near close to the end because I take it to another level when I'm that picker upper. I'm the type I've seen people get up their wheelchairs. I've seen deaf people dancing to my music, so it's kind of it's a good experience and it's interesting.
And how long have you been? That's right. How long have you been, doing like festival, like being invited to festivals? Because I've seen you for the past like 3 years.
3.
And that's just me. I'm just coming in.
No,
so.
Wow. I've been at this, like I said, 91. My first Puerto Rican parade was, with Velez, I believe, rest in peace, one of the first founders, the founder of the parade. And he used to book me at the parade for doing what I do because they saw me in carnivals. I didn't even have a record. So I've been doing the parade, like I said, 94, 95. And then the record, then it was, getting to a height. The 96 came and the record released in 96. So I've been, like I said, 95, 96 doing the parade itself. So from there, I've been 91 doing 91.
So
I started doing
that's
festivals.
over 20-something years already.
Over 20. I mean, I could go back to, I was just having a conversation with Nereida Medina from Tarima Productions, and, but she's one who used to do festivals years ago. She tells me so many stories we go through, like, how I used to have Aventura open up for me in these carnivals, back in the, when they were, like, just things that you realize later in life, like, oh, wow, it's true. Like, I've been, and sad to say, I'm not going to say sad to say because I have my own lane. I'm not just as popular as many of these guys, but I do travel, I have my share of my 20 years, and I still could say I live off this,
Absolutely.
And I'm still doing it. I'm still going to Ecuador. I'm going out there in October. I'm going back to Puerto Rico in August. First time, in since 98, because I had another issue singing that song. Some political thing went on in the 90s, with me singing the anthem.
Now, are we talking about your tour? Because that was going to be my next question. I know you got a tour coming on.
Yeah, every summer I do the Bandera tour, which is I tour all the parades. So my job is, my mission is to hit every parade every summer because that's like my, my MO. So I just start, from May. We start May 25th, which is going to be Jackson Festival. Usually we start always in May. Then I'm hitting, parades in every state. So my mission is to try to get as much parades I can in from here to October. And yeah, the tour is basically La Bandera tour, and it's a parade and festival tour, I call it. And I kind of came up with this idea myself. I said the only way I could probably book, make this a real living every summer. I cool down the winter, then summer comes, then we do the Bandera tour. So there's some parades that I'll do 1 year, and I won't consecutive do them, so I skip. So it might be some states that say, oh, why you didn't come back? Because I don't repeat sometimes, but I do have my share of doing. I can say I've done almost every state parade, that's out there, from Orlando to New York to Buffalo. I mean, I'm looking at Massachusetts. They just call me from Jersey. It's everywhere. Jersey, Newark. You'd be surprised how many parades are there, around the world. Plus, who thought Ecuador would have this record as one of their, biggest 90s record in Ecuador.
Absolutely.
Ecuadorians, que bonita bandera. I'm out there, they're out there throwing gang signs. I'm like, I didn't even know they have Puerto Rican gangs in Ecuador. But,
that's dope.
I was just a night with them not too long ago, like a few weeks ago. No, actually a week ago. And, I'm getting ready for all that. Like, my tour is going to, just add. I keep adding. So, what you see now, it's more to be added to it. It never stays there, keep adding.
Who is like your most hyped crowd out of all of those states that you've been visiting? Where is your biggest?
Trying to start beef. What a beef question. Wow, who's the best? I say all my Puerto Ricans, y'all the best in every state.
Nah, but what state? Because there's always one state that's more like
I'm not gonna
excited to see you.
Of course, I'm always saying New York, Fifth Avenue. It's
the
national Puerto Rican parade would be the biggest because this is home base. And everybody knows this is the national parade. So the
Right.
National Parade would be the biggest to me along. Then I have other ones that'll come next to it, which I'm going to mention Chicago. You guys got it.
Oh,
Let me tell you,
okay.
Chicago get a crazy festival. They do a
Yeah.
3-day event, and, so. Yeah.
Who got the best food though in the festival?
Oh, here we go. That chick trying to get me poisoned in 116 and said, I got to be careful. I don't eat too much of the festival, for tell you the truth. I never have time to eat much of it, but I smell it. And I'm sure everybody they got their own taste and their own feel, so I'm not going to knock, because I see people munching away in every festival, so I can't, everybody has their flavor. I'm not going to say the food. Now, you mentioned restaurants. Maybe we have another issue. But as far as the festival foods, I'm thinking they all have, that's the good thing about being Puerto Rican and Dominican. They have the same type seasoning, same type cooking. It's just a little different, extra here, or somebody might put it, but it's still the same. That's what makes those festivals why people go there. They eat the same flavor and feel the song and taste the,
Absolutely.
and so I'm thinking, they're all good. I'm thinking, I don't, like I said, eat too much.
Good answer. Because when I go to the festivals, the food, like the entertainment, is obviously one of the reasons why people go, but the food is the reason why I go.
Yeah, no, that's the reason a lot of people, I see a lot of people in different nationalities, exactly, they're always actually at the food, and they're always, I hear them, because sometimes you walk the festival, oh my God, what is this made of? So it's that's what those festivals are made for people to understand our cooking, our way of life, how we live, how we get chunky, and why we look, the way we look as Latinos.
Definitely. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask Candela some more intriguing questions.
I'm going to start juggling with my comical.
So stay tuned after this. We'll be right back.
I didn't know you had commercials. I'm going to have to make a commercial. I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Hot as you ever meet. I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Hot as you ever meet. I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Hot as you ever meet. I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Still fire. I got the heat, yo. I fire like you wanna be. Yes, more than you could, would, should, or gonna be. When I attack, you can watch a veteran destroy. Them cats a snack, I'm better than your boy. I don't care if you think about attacking the packs, cause I ain't scared of you. Like Bernie Mac. Fire's a rapid oxidation and caption, causing heat, light, and various reactions. I'm that student that walked and joked and turned the class. Off the heat and smoke, I'ma actually burn your ass. But intellect puts me in the ill spot. Even in water, I turn to steam, I'm still hot. My mother was fire, my brother was fire, my father was fire. That's why I can't be beat. I got the heat, I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Hot as you ever meet. I got the heat, I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Hot as you ever meet. I got the heat, I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Hot as you ever meet. I got the heat, I'm still fire. I'm burning like a stack of tires. Still fire. I got the heat, still fire. The way I still spit heat, so to make believe rappers just take a seat. Still fire. That's why my eyes are closed, cause the heat out the street will probably see in your clothes. Still fire. Face
Here are the 2019 LDM Independent Music nominees in the hip-hop category. Nuckstar with Trap Selena.
Hustle hard, put in work each and every day. Said I don't see ya. Pockets deeper. The Trap Selena. I'm the Trap Selena. The Trap Selena.
Little Deuces with Crunch Time.
Yeah. I'm about to spit on this beat, so best believe I'm gonna be the king of this league. And Jake is my city, I rep that, barely even know haters flood this town.
Richard Picasso with No Freedom.
Jack on a tombstone, yeah, the grave slit. Brought to the native lands, no free will. Kids running down our base, they don't know how we feel. 500 years we persevered, and I still don't think now the worst is here because we're black. And because my skin won't crack, milk and white women's faces, we've been low fat, Jack.
Hire the Arsonist with Good Chick.
The love that you see in me, cause you're a good chick, a thick chick, a freak like me.
Burpee's girl, no doubt. I don't ever gotta check my bank account. All I need is a woman that's down for the girl. She just wanna live a life and not worry about the flaws, but she gotta be a good chick. Someone that I could.
And these were the 2019 LDM Independent Music nominees in the hip-hop category.
Welcome back, everybody. As you guys heard, make sure you guys vote for the LDM Music Awards show and get your tickets because it's selling out fast. But thank you for tuning in. I'm here with Puerto Rican sensation. And we're just here, you know.
Puerto Rican and Dominican, so my mom don't knock me
out. Okay. So you like me?
Yeah, I'm half
and half. Okay. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, different,
Some
you know.
from the Puerto Rican board, man.
But you know what's crazy is that like I was interviewing another show the other day, and I was telling them, like, we were talking about racism and stuff, and I was like, you know, I've experienced so much racism, but it's been mostly with my own people, because like I'm not Dominican enough for the Dominicans, and I'm not Puerto Rican enough for the Puerto Ricans.
It happens, yeah.
Like the Dominicans will call me Bori.
I like to start beef with the both. See, I could do it because I'm half
Me too.
Dominican jokes, then I got Puerto
Me
Rican.
too. I'm like, and I could say it. Cause I'm
I
I'm
tell
half
them, they be
and
like,
half.
why you Dominican? I'll be like, well, my mother's Dominican, so I know.
Mine's
that
too.
I'm like, I'm half, so I could joke.
Yo, that's so crazy. My mother was
I
Dominican.
slept
my
with my
father
Dominican cousins. I'm not too thick, you know, some of them.
Yeah. See, my Dominican side, they're all black. And then my Puerto Rican side, they're all light skinned. And I'm like in the middle, I look Indian. So sometimes I'll be like, yo, am I really like, maybe I'm not. For real. But like, going back to, you know, the questions that we were talking about before, what advice would you give an artist, like as myself, like I'm trying to transition from English into Spanish reggaeton. I actually for the first time recorded a reggaeton song. It's going to be coming out soon. But
she plugged. That was a plug.
Yeah, you know, I had to do that real quick.
Coming out soon.
But my hardest thing is my accent and some words I don't you know.
That's what I was gonna get to. I was gonna say, as long as you speak Spanish properly is the only way it might work. But then it doesn't. You know, it does work if you have a swag to it. I mean, you know how to swag your little accent. But just properly say your words, because a lot of people do make songs and I get corrected a lot of some writings. Like instead of saying sube, a lot of people say sube tu bandera. It's really alza tu bandera. Because sube would mean, you know, picking it up. Alza would mean raise it up. So the proper way to say you don't go up with the flag, you raise your flag. So it's like, you know, it's different ways. Like I said, a lot of people, but us, you know, we were raised in the American more, you know, over here in New York, so we didn't have too much of that, you know, Spanish. You know, we went straight to English class. And, you know,
See, because that's another thing. When they ask me what part of Puerto Rico is my family from, I always say the Bronx. And then people start laughing, and I'm like, but it's the truth. That's where all my Puerto Rican family are.
Well, I always say that you could always, reggaeton doesn't mean you have to sing Spanish. You can always Spanglish like I do. You know, I like to Spanglish in my music sometimes, and you flip it, because sometimes there's an English word that might just land right and perfect, and it matches with that Spanish. So if you're bilingual, that's what gives us that up, that we could do both languages. So if you both, that gives you a little upper hand, you know, so try to blend both. That's what I tell people. You can't get that word, then flip it in English, because you know it in English, and make sure it rhymes.
Now, what about, like, the actual, like, people, like, in Puerto Rico and DR who are trying to come up? Like, what advice can you give them as an artist, as a Spanish artist, to try to come up here in the United States? Because I believe that's like one of the hardest things for them.
I say the United States is always a big mission for a lot of people, and I don't blame the ones because I deal with artists. That's what I do now, consulting. I have artists in Venezuela, people that, dealing with Spanish hip-hop. I'm on that market trying to really help a lot of the Spanish rappers, so I know what you're saying. It is difficult for some, but some of them are comfortable in their country, in their state. You just got to find a way, your wave in your state and your country, because honestly, I see people like the artists, I don't want to say too much names, but with the artist that's in Venezuela, I'm consulting, and 56 million views. They're doing pretty good. They sell out concerts, and I go out there and I see things in Spain, and these guys are really doing good in their country. So a lot of them want to branch out because, of course, to be in New York is the biggest thing for any artist. We're home of, this is the home of the homeland of dreams. What is it? We make the dreams come true, and the land of everything. You make it all happen in New York. So
they say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
So the advice I say though to a lot of people is focus in your area first. I mean, it's good to want to come here, but it's not always going to happen here that easy. It's not as easy as it looks. You're not going to just come here and run into Puff Daddy or these names and think you're going to get signed. It's not as easy to get close. You guys do interviews and shows. You guys have the press passes. It's not as easy as these guys think to really sit there. So you got to really get your music tight, get your town, your wave, your little following. So when you do come, they're going to look at you for a reason. Like, oh my God, who's that person standing out with their stuff correct? Because if you're not correct, you're just going to, yo, Poppy, I got to rap. Yo, I get it all the time. Yo, I got this thing. It's just, monotonous. You can't be too annoying with them. Don't be, if you're going to get it, but get it the right way. Get your wave going, get it proper. Because I learned that the bad way too. But I was lucky in my years. We didn't have, when I came out in 97, we had AOL? We had Gente.com. We had a MySpace. We didn't know about,
you had dial-up when you had to wait half an hour.
We had, we had a phone still and beepers, 2 ways, and we were differently promoting, but we had sell records. So the thing about us, we had to go physically with flyers. So it just take it the old school. I say go to take a little, time and go back and see how they did it in the 90s, because that was hard. We were out there when we didn't have internet. And we had to go out there and just with flyers, the trains and people, person to person, making guest lists, taking numbers. And in Third Avenue, I remember, doing club, everything you got to do, just build your foundation, your wave. And that's what I got with me, that I stuck. I got a fan base that's followed me since, the 90s, their kids.
Absolutely.
I got people's kids following that are my fans now, their kids. So it's like I'm almost at a second generation of people following a song that I've kept. Because people do ask, why you still singing this song? Sounds who sings that, mom? It becomes, oh, that's Candela. The mother's touched the child. I preach, on my shows. I'm teaching you the flag colors, what they mean.
Yeah.
I'm not only doing a show. I'm going out there after I sing the Bandera. I'm telling you kids, everybody, what y'all know what our flag means, our colors and everything. You see how I'm doing it. So it becomes informative, and I'm doing something besides performance. So I'm giving also knowledge, So I just say back to the artists is trying to make it, just build the wave. Make sure you have something that really people want to look. Make sure that you have something that Puffy or somebody going to turn their head and be like, whoa, who's that? And try to reach out to these shows, these little, fan shows, these little talent shows that happen. But I say just concentrate, though, in your area first. New York it is where it is, but it's not as easy as it is.
Absolutely.
You got to come here, make sure you come and network little by little. Don't jump the gun. Don't leave your family behind.
Networking, that is the key. I always tell people, you have to network.
Yeah,
network is the key. You may not be
whether it's
as
online,
talented as
you're not here because you could network. They're going to listen to you, but know who you're reaching out to and know how to network. Don't just come out with the yo's and sir and just know what you're doing or have someone do it for you.
Absolutely.
Like when I reach out to people online that don't know me, you got to have a certain way of typing and knowing how to, because, we go to school for that. I don't know who does. I've done it. I made it to that grade where you got to know how to greetings, how you doing, sir, sincerely, and know how to write your,
That was going to be my next question to you. How do you feel about, this new generation? Because I feel like kids born after, 2005, they don't even know how to write in cursive anymore.
No, kids after 2000, I think, the millennials, I call them the millennials. They're I go through it every day. I got these little artists, everybody, they have their way. They don't know. You have to teach them. Like the other day, I was, just the other day with DMX, and I'm trying to teach these young kids. They just, again, oh, we don't know because they're young. That was old school. He ain't this or that. And I'm trying to explain to them, though, you got to pay homage to where it started.
Absolutely.
So, you don't see DMX, but we know the old school that they founded, the foundation of what we're doing now. So without the DMXs, the Wu-Tangs, all those old KRS-One that they don't see, when I say there's the father of hip-hop, you got to teach these kids that we're not teaching them, so they just grow, with their own, social media hype now. Everything's about views and likes, and, they're not paying attention. But, the new wave, because of my kid, my son's a rapper, he's one of those kids, he's 21, and he's talented. But, I go through it. But, can't blame them because we were the same with our parents.
That's right.
We were saying, what you listening to, Mom? It was days that we were, so
Yeah.
I look at it as just another generation of things. It's happened. We were the ones that we broke hip-hop and freestyle. It was crazy to our parents, What you guys doing spitting? What's the, the beatboxing? We was beatboxing in school. What you doing? We look crazy. And look how it took hip-hop, to a big ass,
Absolutely. Now, artists like Big Pun have paved a wave for a lot of Latino artists, rappers to come out. Big Pun, Fat Joe, the whole Terror Squad.
Cypress Hill.
Cypress
I'm gonna
Hill.
give, shout to Cypress.
Yeah,
They
Cypress Hill, they definitely.
They just got a star in the Walk of Fame.
Really?
That happened just this last year so far.
That's
Latin, They were the
awesome.
first, when the Latin just acknowledged, Cypress Hill, they are Latin. Like,
Absolutely. I love Cypress Hill. Don't get me.
Yeah, and they're
Jump
Latino.
around.
They got their own flow. They up there, the West
Yeah.
Coast. And I actually did a record with one of their guys, Funk Dubious. They're probably going to hear
Shout
on my
out to you.
album. And, like I said, shout to them. Shout to Pun, of course, rest in peace. His son
Absolutely.
does his legacy. His son is, crazy. Like,
My vocal instructor, Soto, Big Pun's son, Christopher Reeves.
Yes, Chris Rivers.
Chris Rivers, he actually was training with her. So I'm like, oh snap, like look at me over here training, like, and it's true what you say about networking, because when I first came out, I never wanted to be an artist. Like, I just wanted to be a songwriter. I just wanted to write songs and have somebody else sing it for me, because I never really felt like I could sing. And then in the rapping thing, like, I never really saw myself doing that. But me networking, that first song that you heard right there, when we first started the show, that was actually a song that I wrote a while ago, and my nephew actually recorded it in my sister's living room with a broken down laptop, and we used some beat from YouTube.
My first deal, I got it doing headphones. I did vocals with headphones, and I got my first deal with Micmac in '91, and it was great. I'm doing headphones. We didn't have a microphone.
Yeah.
And it happens, it's how you do it. It's all the energy you put in there, and it's all up to, the power. You believe in it, you can do it. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be, you're selling an act, so you don't have to really like it or be that style. You're selling, if you have a talent to it, or it's more like an act. You got to turn into that character and sell like that image. That image you're trying to sell. It doesn't really have to be that you sound hot as long as you flip it.
And I think the most important thing is having confidence, because like me, I didn't really have that much confidence, and when I put that song out, people were like, "Oh, that song is kind of nice." So like, it's like an old school vibe
Real
type
test is
thing.
when you live, though. Confidence is there. It's cool when you're in the studio. Now, when you go in front of those 10,000 people, is where you gotta really. That's where the test comes. In the beginning, I was a little frightful, but I'm a yeller, so every time I yell, they're jumping. So
The whole neighborhood
it's like, that's the difference with me. I'm yelling. They always jumping and make me want to do more. But, I was in the beginning a little scared at times when I see those big, going to Chicago, when I went to the big places, you see 30,000, 116 was full of 100,000 on Telemundo.
Awesome.
And it was like, I'm standing there, and then again, 3 million in the parade, and noticing that every block, is going along with your song.
Absolutely. So like I was saying about, the hip-hop Latin artists that have opened the way for these new, a lot of Latino artists to come out. There's an artist called Anuel AA, something like that, Anuel AA, something like that, who had made a comment about Evie Queen. Now, those of you guys who don't know Evie Queen, like, I grew up on her. Like, I think if I ever was to meet her, I think I'll start crying, because I love this lady so much.
Should I call her for you right now?
Don't do that, because I will freak out.
La Queen, my people.
I love her, and I feel like she is like my inspiration. And it's like when I do this reggaeton track, I want to be like her. You know what I mean? And he had made a comment how she fell off, and now his girlfriend Karol G is like the new.
But of course they're gonna say all that. But you know what it is?
I feel like the respect though.
That's all for. I'm calling it. That's all media hype. I'm saying that's all for promotion. Honestly, Anuel, like I said, I know the whole waves. All these guys are different people. Listen, Anuel, when he sees Evie, he has to bow to her. I don't care who you are. I don't care, and like I said, you got to bow to the old homage, the Rey Pirings, the old Playeros, the Chesina. They're all coming down. I got them coming down next week.
Oh
so
my God, next week.
They're going to be here Saturday.
They're
going to be in Polygon in Brooklyn. So we got Piring here. We got Alberto Style. We got,
oh my God.
Who else is here? Clanking Stone is coming. DJ Negro. So yeah, give props to the old school guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're here. I'm going to have them probably on my flow, too. I'm going to have a crazy little thing going on
That's
in my flow.
awesome.
So aside of that, like I said, yeah, give homage. I say, when these guys speak like Anuel and the kids that I was talking about, they're big Anuel fans. They know every Anuel song, and it's just
Not
like
saying that he's not dope, but I just felt like that was kind of disrespectful towards her, because
he's talented.
It's like Nicki Minaj not giving Little Kim
what
the
I tell
proper
these two guys is, they're writing their
deserves.
own music too. That's the only thing I gotta check. Who's writing these songs for these guys that they thinking they're so hype, but then who wrote it for you?
Right.
There's older guys that are writers that are giving you these ideas that you don't think they know it came out, all that knowledge. These are guys that spend all day doing their thing, turning up. They don't really have, I don't think, and they gotta respect and talk the truth when they out there when they get these awards. Gracias, because you see the award shows, there's always the writers are 50 names.
Right.
And it's like there's not one guy, but when you go to Evie Queen record, there's one writer,
That's
which
right.
is Evie Queen, and her maybe her man or whoever wrote, but not,
Right.
Like me, you write your stuff, try to keep it 2-3 writers, not 58 names. When the award show I was watching, to knock them, I mean, it's a good thing you have teamwork, but how much money's going to spread between 20 publishers?
Exactly.
But you are getting show money, so he got to chill. His just show money, that's all the act. Let's not talk about it no way, because he got other problems in Puerto Rico.
I just feel like,
he likes to talk a lot, so I don't pay attention to him, because
Yeah.
he's cool, give love to him. I don't got no issues, like I said, but he has issues that he spoke about some people in Puerto Rico. They didn't even want him in Puerto Rico, so let's talk,
wow.
we're not going to get into him, but he has a habit of speaking, but they do that for
And
marketing.
it's the younger generation, though.
And that's marketing, to try, bad
with,
publicity. They think that that's going to bring them, but they're going to run into the wrong person one day. They're going to find themselves in a problem. So I just say the young people, people got to be careful. I know they hype because they making money, but remember that money's not going to save you. That money ain't bulletproof. You got to chill, because the hip hop is real. I try to tell all these guys, there's guys out here that have been doing this for years. They may not have a name, but you got to be careful how you speak. If they take some guys might blow your neck off, and I'm not saying I'm one of those guys. Just saying, be careful how y'all speak. Stay in your lane, your way. When people talk about me, Mr. One Hit Wonder, I'm not a one hit wonder. I always say I'm the one that you're still wondering why.
Why you still
wondering? I'm not a wonder, because the one hit wonder plays and you never hear him again.
That's
a one hit wonder is something you hear like a Milli Vanilli and you don't hear it no more.
And
last time you heard "Girl, You Know It's True," unless you're playing. But
when we found out that they wasn't really singing,
exactly, we don't go to those guys. But I'm just saying, just giving you an example. But like one hit wonders do things and they stay one hit, and that's good. But I consider myself a classic, and doing things that I could still consider myself. They calling it an iconic way of doing what I've done. You know what I'm saying, for 22 years. So, back to the young guys, man. You gotta just chill. Everybody got their lane. Like I said, I still, Candela, we don't hear you on radio, but I still got royalty statements that I could have brought to interviews that people want to see. It's just about your work you do. And when I get those
and the
papers,
respect that you get in the street.
Yeah, no, and the thing when I get the ASCAP writing, I don't care. I laugh at Candela, you're singing your song, whatever. But I did so many features. Remember, I've done features with Louis Vega, Grammy Award DJs. He won a Grammy. I've done 2 records with Little Louis Vega. I've done the remake, of In the Ghetto with David Morales, another, Grammy DJ who's worked with Whitney Houston. I got names of our people out here doing the same thing, while they trapping and telling me, Candela, you should feature on the trap. And I say, yes, it's cool. I try to, but I'm in a wave that a lot of people can't mess with, which is Latin house music. A lot of people are scared of touching that because it's dance music. So like kids, they feel iffy. They're on that, homo folk thing or whatever. All that's what other no. It's a bougie thing. It's a hot thing if you know what you're doing. Because I flip the tribal, I have vocals, and I have my waves. So while y'all arguing and doing the same things and battling, I'm in the house things, doing house music, and I try. Like I said, it's beautiful when you go to Italy and these places and places like Dubai, you're sitting around, you don't know these Indians are dancing to your music. It's it's a different experience. Not out here arguing with the same festivals and trying to stand out of the next MC and everybody trying to be the best. I know that in any show I go, you see the difference. Everybody's doing the same thing, but then that's why they keep booking me, because I bring a difference to a show. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, rapping, reggaeton, everything the same. But when Candela comes, it turns into taka Candela, and it's more house. It's party. Like, oh shit, the party chickens in the party. We're not gonna play rap all night. We're gonna flip it to reggae. You're gonna flip always the house.
Absolutely.
And when house comes, it goes back to us because we were the ones that were moving in the Latin house. So it goes, Boricua anthem. Those songs are gonna pump you up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just. Everybody got to stay in their lane. Like I say, just be careful when people talk. Like when they talk also some about me, all these little artists. Just be careful because I got, I got to talk or prove nothing. I've proved it, still doing it.
Absolutely.
I got nothing to prove really. You know what I'm saying? I do it on stage.
You're still getting booked. Now, speaking of albums, you have some new music that I seen that you are.
I've been working hard because due to my health condition, that happened. So I was, on stop because I was almost ready to release. It's a double album, believe it or not. I'm doing 10 English songs and 10 Spanish because I'm crossing. People don't understand I rap English, so I've been dying to release my English material. So that's going to be interesting. So now we're trying to decide whether I'm coming out all English for the summer. I'm gonna come out, Spanish. So it's a big, confusion. I'm trying to let them decide, the team that's doing it, and we're working on it. But the album's looking good. I mean, I'm just touching up songs because it's been a while, but it's good. I'm doing dance hall. I'm catering more to dance hall and bringing back a lot of remix of my old records, like the Lost Files, and putting them all, in some album cuts. Re-releasing the Bandera 2, which is part 2 of the Bandera, and then a lot of English stuff. I'm excited about the English album because I'm changing my flows, not the Candela voice. I'm doing, they calling me like the Spanish type Drake, some ill. And like I said, I'm going to be previewing some of it soon, and I'm shooting a video soon, but I'm busy, filming documentaries and trying to do some things to, for me, because there's a lot to say in my life. It's been so much. I'm doing, from consultation, from consulting, from artists, from bookings, other art. I've just been, so much, so I want to put it all in a story as a documentary. So I'm just trying to,
Now, any featured artists that you can mention on your album?
On my album, see, I did something crazy. On my album, what I featured is a lot of new faces and new names and talented individuals. I'm going through, because my mission is to really bring my team, a team that I've worked hard with. We all struggling. So I got features from, artists that work with me, Kana, and I got a, a girl named Damaris that does vocals. We got Boo Styles. We got, just so many, people that are put in my team. Features are like, I might have like Soundboy in the joint we thinking of working, and aside of that is mostly me though. I want to focus like Big Pun did, first Latino that went platinum without features. He did a whole album solo, people didn't expect, so I want to do that too and show them that I could do it. I could sing, people don't know I'm singing. I got a deep voice, but I can sing hooks. I'm using audio tools like guys are doing it, artists. I'm doing it, so I got a different style. People are gonna say that's Candela, how, in English. So you're gonna see in Jackson, I might perform. Like 2 or 3, maybe 2 new English joints. The world's going to be like, whoa, that's Candela, so
That's
different.
awesome.
So like I said, it's going to be a crossover thing to the English market. Hopefully that works for me. And I am working with some big names. I don't want to say his name yet, but you can figure. You already mentioned them. We from the Bronx. So I'm going to definitely have my Bronx people. They're going to look out. We already spoke. So before
Absolutely.
I get it done, I don't want to jinx it, but I know we're going to have some good, Bronx people, from the BX. So we'll have some 1 or 2 from here. And big shout out to all of y'all and all my peoples, Y'all know who I'm talking about.
That's what's up. We're gonna go to another commercial break, and when we come back, I'll have more questions with Candela.
Porque si es Candela, tiene que ser bueno. Carma.
That's me, no?
Any more?
Aunque tú no estés, te puedo morir. No puedo. La cabeza cuando pienso en ti. No puedo negar lo que yo siento. Sé que por ti me muero. Aunque tú no estés, te puedo morir. Me duele la cabeza cuando pienso en ti. No puedo negar lo que yo siento. Sé que por ti me muero. Te busco y no estás y no sé qué hacer. Mi mundo no da vueltas si no estás, pues. El tiempo que tuvimos desapareció. Te fuiste sin aviso, ahora estoy solo. ¿Y dónde estás tú? Me pregunto a la gente, ¿dónde estarás tú? Y que te tengo presente. ¿Y dónde estás tú? Le pregunto a la gente, ¿dónde estarás tú? Y que te tengo presente. Aunque tú no estés, te puedo morir. Me duele la cabeza cuando pienso en ti. No puedo negar lo que yo siento. Sé que por ti me muero. Aunque tú no estés, te puedo morir. Me duele la cabeza cuando pienso en ti. No puedo negar lo que yo siento. Sé que por ti me muero. Se me hace difícil pensar en que mañana tú no estás. Y ahora estoy loco, 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 perdido en la oscuridad. Tú no sabes cómo me siento, solo estoy en mi lamento. Ahora estoy aquí, sufriendo por ti. ¿Dónde estás tú? Me pregunto a la gente, ¿dónde estás tú? Y que te tengo presente. ¿Y dónde estás tú? Le pregunto a la gente, ¿dónde estás tú? Y que te tengo presente. Tú tenías mi alma en tus manos. Tú tenías mi corazón en tus manos, en tus manos. Tú tenías, girl, mi corazón. Aunque tú no estés, te puedo morir. Me duele la cabeza cuando pienso en ti. No puedo negar lo que yo siento.
with y'all.
Welcome back to House of Carma. I'm your host, Carmen Serrano, and I'm here with
Candela. I gotta say it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get into, you are an advocate for cancer.
Yes.
And I know that that's been like one of the leading causes of death in America, but also worldwide, I can say.
Yeah, it's a big. I mean, with me, yeah, it's to me, it's experience because I was diagnosed, myself. I've been diagnosed with cancer. I'm at stage 4 brain cancer.
Wow.
So since then, I've been diagnosed, and I've been learning more about, wanting to because I am a voice, I perform. So I figure I'm out here, speaking about it. They did give me a lifespan, but I overpassed that lifespan. I'm still doing good, as you see. I'm here.
Amen. Amen.
They didn't say I would be here, so I'm becoming, more of a speaker. I would like to I started my Candela Cancer Foundation. It's going to be, my motto is going to be lighting up the world one human at a time. And my whole foundation's mission is going to be, finding a way to go to hospitals and see all the, the kids that are fighting, mostly the young kids and the older ones that, the older people that can't, deal with, chemo's terrible because I did it. I was doing it for a year, and that's something a lot of people I don't, even just imagine. It's just terrible. It's something that one of the worst things you could undergo, as far as treatments for cancer, and they only could give you a year of it because it's dangerous. After that it kills you. So between radiation, all that stuff, I know, it depresses people. It depressed me. It puts you in a state of form. You start losing eyebrow hair. You start losing stuff, and you start losing, yourself mentally. So my job is always kept myself happy. I have a good support system. I always try to, focus because I almost went into that depression stage. But I can imagine those who don't have a support system or the strength. So my foundation's mission would be to speak, advocate for this cancer thing, and mostly brain cancer, because a lot of people never speak about brain cancer, and that's the second leading in all cancers,
Wow.
the second leading in death, so people understand I'm learning this as I'm going along, gray matters, and I'm going to, always speak about this and try. I'm doing a fundraiser, which is going to come in September, so you guys are all going to be, invited. It's going to be planned very well.
Absolutely.
I'm doing a press party first, and like I said, I'm learning more about the cancer thing, and I want to speak about every cancer because I do have people that, advocate with me, people down with Bronx Relay. I have, Annette Casper, who's been advocating for me, helping me out during my, my process. So I'm trying to, like I said, form, the foundation, and the mission is to take a patient out for a day, spoil them, get them away from that seeing a child, or get them to see their favorite artist, take them to a game, or, have just that one day where they could forget about cancer and give them happiness or show them that you can, live and be happy. Because I'm also a fighter, myself. I'm still fighting because I'm not cured. But, I'm going to fight, and I'm showing them, look, I'm doing it. They told me a year to live, and I'm here 2 years later, so we could do it. Let's just stay happy and motivate. So that'll be a mission of my, my foundation, the whole.
So you've been fighting this disease for 2 years?
It's been about 2 years now. I'm celebrating. In June will be my second. I'm calling it my second year birthday because I found like I lived again. They opened my brain up. And,
Wow.
And it was a very deep surgery. Mine. They had to open my skull and take out a big tumor out of my brain. I'm still here speaking.
Absolutely.
Something they say a lot of people come out different. You got to get a lot of therapy after that, and my memory's good. Maybe the vision a little bit. But they said I would come out blind from one eye or blind and everything. I said maybe God, not maybe, God is on my side.
Absolutely.
And he's, definitely, on protecting me for a reason. I'm here for a reason. So I'm trying to find the reason I might be to be that voice, to really speak about, this because people do listen to me. I'm around the world, so why not become, the advocate?
And absolutely. And a lot of people don't know that a lot of people back in the days, there was never no cure for cancer, supposedly. But I feel like cancer has been around for so long. Do you think that maybe people are getting it from the food, or how do you feel?
It's definitely the food. It's definitely a lot of the stuff. I'm doing a lot of studying. I'm trying to learn how to eat more healthy. It's definitely the food, the meat, of course, the quality. I believe in chemtrails. I believe in all the things. I could go into different side of this. I don't want a conspiracy, but I believe cancer is something that's made through the chemicals in the air, through poison, through stuff. They're poisonous through water. How the water has fluoride, which that's dangerous for the body, and we're drinking fluoride. Fluoride is in our toothpaste, but we put it in our mouth, and all that stuff is dangerous for the body. But you start learning that as you go along. And to me, like I said, cancer, it's a very destructive thing, and it comes from many things. Like I said, many ways. There's smoking, but then brain cancer, there's no explanation. There's no. They say they don't know how brain cancer caused. You know, mine is glioblastoma, so it's stage 4. It's something they say it's like an alien. Once you cut it, it activates again. That's a problem with mine. And my mind, for some reason, has, you know, small and shrunk a little because we've been zapping it. But I feel there's cures for this. There is. You know, if you go online, other countries do have a cure. There's cures for AIDS. There's cures for a lot of diseases. They just don't have it in the U.S. Over here, they live off medicine. So I feel the medical system here wants the chemo because the money goes straight to the doctors, and that's a lot of money that they make off chemo. So if they find a cure, where's going to be the money for them? You know what I'm saying? They bring the cure. It's there. I've seen in Cuba. I've seen in other countries. You know, they have the cure. You just have to travel. And I did my research for exactly what I have. People have been cured. You just have to travel. You
Now, what's the percentage of people with brain cancer, or how would you call that?
It's brain cancer. It's different glioblastomas. They're different, you know, blastoma. There's a glio. There's another stoma. You know, it's different. But mine, like I said, stage 4. So I'm thinking the percentage is pretty high. They say, you know, a lot of people have that don't know they have. Like me, I was having a lot of migraines, so I didn't know. There's signs that your body tells you. So they say men, mostly age 40 and above, are ones who suffer from brain cancer for some reason. I don't know why it's happening. What's the cause? They still don't explain. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people over 40, when you have these migraines that are just not migraines, because that's the way it was with me. I thought it was hangovers. I thought it was, you know, me, you know, hanging out too much, breaking night, you know, studio work, hanging out, doing this. So me, but the headaches were so bad that you feel like nauseous. You feel like throwing up. You feel like, you know, you can't lay down or stand up. That's when, you know, you got to go check yourself. And a lot of people don't do it. A lot of because they don't have the medical. That's another thing. The MRI doesn't cost $10. The MRI is $4,000 or $5,000 unless you have medical. That's another thing, you can't get it. So you have to yourself pay for it unless it's an emergency. So they only take care of you and check you. Like me, I didn't know last minute I caught a seizure, so it was an emergency.
Wow.
You know, I was in a spa having a meeting for my album. I was sitting in the morning at a Dunkin' Donuts, and I just caught a seizure. And I woke up in the hospital, you know, 8 hours later, and I didn't know I had all these, you know, headaches I was getting was a tumor in my brain growing, pushing one side of my brain. They told me you have to get it Friday, if not, your next seizure could kill you. And that's how it went with me. So, you know, sometimes you get that reality check and it's too late. But I always, you know, it's good to know. As I said, check yourself. It's a costly thing, but if you feel that, find a way to get yourself checked, because it's better to get it before the stage 1, 2 than me wait for stage 4. That I got lucky. Not everyone's that lucky. You know, there's people that have had the same surgery that I have after, and they haven't made it. So, you know, as a young kid who I saw pass away, there was my doctor taking care of that I've spoke to personally. You know, another man that came, older age, my same, you know, diagnosed and didn't make it. So I'm here for a reason. So I'm just, you know, trying to take advantage for it and thank God that I'm still here, and, you know, and move forward with what I got to do. So can't give it too much energy.
Absolutely. Wow. Like, you're definitely a soldier. I can honestly say that. And anybody who wouldn't know you would not even know that you're
I'm
dealing
good.
with
I don't
that.
want to give it energy or give it, but I do speak about it, and do people do say the same thing, because, you know, it could take you down, believe me.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's very important to have spiritual guidance and the right people around you to motivate you. So what you're doing is a wonderful thing. The Relay for Life, I keep seeing it all over my timeline. I know that they're trying to raise awareness, and that's
shout out to Rambo, my man, Jose Rivera, running the you know, the Relay for Life, the new president of Relay for Life. Support them all the way up. Supporting, you know, Captain A. I'm supporting American Cancer Center. I'm supporting, you know, brain cancer. They got the 365 matters. So I'm going to a lot of foundations that you start learning about when I do my fundraiser. I'm going to involve a lot of the brain cancer, like, awareness people. You know, I want to really stress, because it's what I have. And we're going to have a lot of information in my event. I'm going to have tables. You know, it's going to be a good event. I'm doing it at Tropicana, you know, the spot I have in the Bronx.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to, you know, big event that's going to be information. And I want to make this a yearly event. It's going to be called Dancing for a Cure. So that's going to be my, you know, the motto for everything. We can go from there and try to make it an annual event. Screens, I want to have this happening in every country. We could, one night, one time a year, that everybody can stream. And we can see people dancing in Ecuador. They can see us. We can see people from Colombia, you know, celebrating one night, dancing for a cure, that we could raise money, like, you know, like the way Jerry Lewis used to do.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's my mission, something close to that. You know, the next couple of years.
That's a wonderful thing. Can you please let our viewers know where they can find you, where they can find
me on
that
the corner of
information?
138th Street and Brook Avenue. Let me stop. 138 Brook. Just find me right there by the 6th train, whatever you need. I got CDs, I got DVDs, I got flash drives. What you need, I even do drops for you right on the corner. Bring your microphone, I got you.
You're too much.
I'll make it give birth.
No, I'm gonna give birth early.
All right, so it's Candela Music. It's that simple. Candela Music on Instagram. That one word. The YouTube will be Candela Music TV. My SoundCloud, Candela Music NYC. So you want to hear and get a taste of what I'm doing. Got some salsa joints, a lot of things. It's gonna freak you out if y'all really go and pay attention. I don't do too much promoting because I know I've just been down and out. But you guys, SoundCloud, Candela Music NYC, at Candela Music on Candela, the voice of Latin America. So many titles. I mean, just find me. Just go find me. Or you find me on her timeline. Find me on her friend list. Go to Carma and you're going to see the tag. And find my page and you'll see everything else I'm along. I got Candela Clothing and Apparel, Candela Consultation, Candela Promotions. I do it all. I'm an entrepreneur. And maybe that's why my brain's going crazy. Maybe that tumor, I think they were taking information. I don't think I had a tumor. I think they put a flash drive.
Well, you definitely have a lot to live for.
I'm here.
So, and you're keeping yourself busy, so that's a wonderful thing. You are a wonderful inspiration as a human being. Keep fighting. Like I always tell you, keep fighting. God got you, and keep inspiring people because, you never know who's watching and who's going through something.
Don't be afraid to speak about it. Depression is a very, very tricky thing, and if you hold it in, it's going to kill you. I always say speak about it. I hear a lot of artists talking about it. Like Lady Gaga, I don't know if you saw at the Grammys or something. You got to speak about it. There's a lot of people that hold it. They're scared of speaking about their problems. I always say don't hold it in because it could kill you. I mean, mentally, if it doesn't kill you mentally, it's going to kill you physically. And, it's a cause for you to get depressed and it breaks you inside.
And I feel like mental illness is such a big deal. So many people are suffering with it because of situations, personal situations.
Social media, because I'm blaming it on all the video violent games, all the
because
kids that were growing up. Well, I'm not going to get on politics right now, but yeah.
but absolutely.
I think it's part of the generation, the millennials. They're going through a very stressful thing. Parents can't hit you no more. You know how that goes. You can send your parents to court. A bunch of craziness going in this world. Now they want to illegal to have abortions. You've seen that. It's crazy. So that'll be another episode. But I know I'm out of minutes. But the world's going crazy. We losing it. We just gotta find a way to bring it back together, my people, because we losing it. And people, the young kids out there, y'all losing it. Pick up your pants. Start respect your people. Respect the elders. Remember, you think you got people until you locked up. Lock yourself up in a bathroom. Go to your house and close that door and stay in there 23 hours and tell me if you're a man. If you want to be such a gangster, these little kids, run around, you rather be in that bathroom for 23 hours, you rather be free, go get a job, rock, and stay out them corners, because that life is not for y'all right now. Believe me, it's not. Sneaker money's not worth it. So, a little advice. Let's get it together, people. Put the world together. The voice of Latin America, but I can't be for the world. But hopefully one day we can figure it out before, this world loses itself. So, wake it up, kids. Wake it up.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for being humble. Those of you guys who don't know, right after this show, we're going to be having Petty Talk, which is my podcast, on www.ldmradio.com. Candela, you staying for that?
I'm going to chill for a while because they got to pick me up, so I'll probably catch half of that show. You might hear some of me there still. And aside of that, look out for me. Come down to Jackson. Come support the National Puerto Rican Parade Festival that Saturday. Jackson, 11 to 6. You'll see LDM. You're going to see me out there. I'm going to have the after party at Tropicana. All you got to say is my name, Candela, to be at the door. Let's hang out. Let's politic at the beginning. I haven't been out in a year to go. Let's hang out. I'll see you at Jackson. We're going to be there. And from there, we're going to Hartford, June 2nd. So get ready, Hartford, Connecticut. And I'll keep going down the line. But that's it. I'm going to keep it at Hartford and stop there. And then I'll let y'all know what's going on when y'all follow me online.
And you guys already know. Y'all heard it here first. House of Carma. I'm your host, Carmen Serrano. Candela.
LDM, Carma. Who you get your mama? Karma's going to be your mama.
Yeah, again. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Same place, same time. God bless.
Peace.
Bye.
All right.